Hey guys, Brandon here with GearRat Outdoors. I'm going to try to start a primitive fire with with natural tinder with the Light My Fire knife from Light My Fire in Mora. I've already used this a few times to start fires at home, but it's always been with dryer lint, Vaseline, cotton balls, that kind of thing. And I'll do a video on that soon where I do a few different things. But I wanted to go ahead and do the natural tinder. We're out here at Roberts Cave State Park in Oklahoma, so I was going to try to show you. I forgot to grab my tinder, so I had to use natural tinder, so we'll show you that right here. What I have here, first off, the fire ring with the chimney rock and a little cooking rock right there. And with this bundle you have here, the outside's just some grass that was actually stuck to another fire pit over here. So I just pulled that off. It's completely dry and dead. And then in the middle, this area flooded recently. There's a bunch of tiny pine trees, and so this is basically that died in the flood. So this is just dried up baby pine needles in the middle of that grass. We're gonna try to see if we can get this to take a spark. In theory, it should. I've got some other bark here that I've put up on its side to kind of create some airflow underneath. So one thing I wanted to bring up while we're talking about this is, especially with a lot of times if you have natural tinder or just some sawdust, different things people use, you'll see a lot of times people go to strike like this with moving the knife, and they'll bump their pile and send their kindling everywhere, their tinder everywhere. So what I've been doing is I hold the knife in place and pull back on the rod. So let's try that here and see if we can get this to take a spark. I mean, you can see this throws out a lot of sparks, and they're hot, but it's possible that baby pine needles aren't the best thing to use. I may have to find something a little more fluffy and try this again in a minute. Yeah, we'll give it a couple more goes here, and then I'll go find me some better tinder. Well, yeah, I'm just wearing out my ferro rod. Let's try to find something a little fluffier that might take a spark. Be right back. Alright guys, I can't find, there's a specific plant I've been looking for that I always find growing near water, kind of, well, where I live in North Texas, it's not too far from here. And I saw one of them earlier today, so I know it's in this area, but I think this area with the flood I mentioned earlier, it didn't probably grow here this year. It was either underwater or the seat got waterlogged or whatever, but didn't grab that plant earlier, and I'm kicking myself about it. I found one that's similar we might try in a minute, but something I also found, there's a lot of geese around here, so I was able to find some goose down. So we're just going to try that, just to see if it just melts or what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens. It's one of the lightest, fluffiest things I could find around here, so I have thought it might be good. But it doesn't look like it's going to catch anything. That doesn't really look like it's working. Let's see.
The wind is up too.
Yeah, the wind doesn't usually hurt you as much when you're using spark like this, but I guess it can. I found a similar plant that has light seed pods, which during the winter, seed pods a lot of times are good to use for this if you can find them. That plant I'm talking about, that's the part of it you actually use as a seed pod that comes up after the plant dies, so in the wintertime. Let's see if we can get this to take. Yeah. Try to fluff this up a little bit here is what I'm doing now. I'm just kind of breaking apart some of these pads. Got pods and trying to get the tiny hairs up and showing. See if that'll take. Alright, well, I'm not blaming this knife, I'm blaming myself. I haven't found good materials. This thing's throwing a ton of sparks. Actually, if you can see on the knife, where the heat and the sparks are actually, you know, leaving marks on the knife. So it's not a heat thing. A lot of times when I'm in this situation, what I tend to do is just get sick and tired of messing with this. I could go around looking for more materials to use all night, but I could just use this big lighter I have, which is my primary fire starting thing. And when I take this knife back to town and show you the other things I normally use it with, I get a lot of times on the first strike. So if you don't know how to use a ferro rod, don't go out with it planning to be able to just start a fire with anything you find. I hope I've been able to show you that it's not as easy as just going and picking whatever plant looks fluffy or whatever you think might catch fire. It doesn't always work, and especially we're right here by the water. It's windy. I'm going to use this lighter. So we're just going to put that in here on all that little stuff that's easy to burn there you saw. We're going to cup the grass around it. And then what I like to do is slowly roll that grass over and let it catch. And then you can see I've got my tiny twigs here. I'll just throw that on top. More. And we'll move up to the pencil size stuff and keep it going. We did get the fire started. We weren't able to use natural tinder and the light my fire knife, but you live and you learn. Always bring a lighter. Y'all take care. We'll check you out next time.